There are truths about female nature that never reach the ears of the common man. Not because they are too complex, but because they are too inconvenient. Among these truths is one that entire universities avoid touching, not out of ignorance, but out of fear. A study connected to Harvard was quietly removed from circulation because it exposed something no institution wanted attached to its name. Female loyalty is not static, not moral, and not guaranteed. It is a living mechanism shaped beneath conscious awareness. When you hear this for the first time, your mind resists. From childhood, you were fed the fantasy of unconditional love. But as Jordan Peterson warns, the feminine is not constancy. It is continuous evaluation of environment, partner, and direction. A woman is not standing still inside a romantic idea. She reads the man, the relationship, and the trajectory, not from cruelty or coldness, but from instinct. This is how physical, emotional, and genetic safety is preserved. Symbolically, the feminine represents chaos-testing masculine order. It examines, calibrates, and applies pressure. This is where the forbidden study intervened, asking what no relationship manual dares to face, what actually makes a woman remain loyal. More importantly, what makes loyalty break even when she believes she never would leave? The patterns exposed shattered social narratives and romantic illusions, revealing a truth men resist. Female loyalty is conditional and responds to perceived safety. This is not ordinary relationship advice. It is an anatomy of the female mind, a breakdown of why a woman can be deeply faithful to one man and indifferent to another, and why many choices that seem moral are actually biological. Before continuing, understand this premise. What you are about to hear is not comforting. It does not confirm the stories men want to believe. Female loyalty does not come from intention. It comes from instinct, and instinct ignores illusion. Cruel reality number 1. Female loyalty is based on perceived safety, not promises. Many men believe love creates permanent loyalty, but the feminine does not operate on forever. It operates on adaptation and real-time evaluation. A woman continuously measures whether staying is safe, advantageous, and emotionally coherent. Loyalty is context reading. When stability is felt, it remains. When structure collapses, loyalty fades before words can explain it. This mechanism has deep roots. Evolutionary psychology explains it clearly. Across history, the feminine developed a refined radar for stability, value, and direction. She does not measure feelings alone. She measures structure, energy, and the man's capacity to lead. The adaptive security theory studied at the University of Texas shows that a woman adjusts closeness and investment based on the internal sense of safety a man creates. Loyalty is not to the man himself, but to the sensation he produces. When that sensation is stable, she stays. When it fractures, loyalty fractures with it. The past does not matter. Promises do not matter. What matters is the present perception of direction, strength, and emotional containment. If a man loses direction, sinks into fragility, or becomes emotionally dependent, the rupture is felt before it can be spoken. The real question was never, is she loyal? It was always, what does she feel beside me? Science echoes this reality. A 2018 study from Florida State University showed that women with emotionally unstable partners reported higher extra-relational fantasies, even when they believed they would never cheat. This is not malice, it is biology. When the female mind senses instability, it begins scanning internally for alternatives, even if no action ever follows. Emotional stability is not a bonus, it is a requirement. Loyalty is sustained by 3 pillars: clear life direction, emotional control, behavioral consistency. These elements create safety. They are not declared, they are demonstrated silently, repeatedly, without explanation or performance. What she follows is not your words, it is your structure. Structure maintains loyalty. Structure breaks it. Structure rebuilds it. Anything else is narrative, and narrative has no power over instinct. Cruel reality number 2. Female loyalty is cyclical and hormonally modulated. Her body alters perception, mood, and bonding throughout the menstrual cycle. These changes are not rational, personal, or directed at you. Most men misinterpret these shifts as rejection or loss of interest. In truth, they are physiological rhythms. When you personalize them, you create conflict. When you understand them, you become stable where she oscillates. Cruel reality number 3. A woman remains loyal while she admires. Admiration is not optional, it is the instinctive trigger behind female bonding. When admiration fades, loyalty weakens even if affection remains. Female loyalty does not come from love alone. It does not come from time invested, protection, or sacrifice. A woman may care deeply, yet when admiration collapses, desire softens and the bond loosens without clear explanation. This is not opinion, it is archetypal psychology. Carl Jung noted that the feminine does not connect to surface behavior, but to depth. A woman bonds to the forces a man represents internally, not merely to his actions. She admires direction, controlled intensity, and inner gravity. She bonds to a man who feels larger than moods, larger than circumstance, larger than emotional oscillation. Admiration is stronger than love, and harder to restore once lost. This explains why many women leave good, correct, devoted men, yet remain loyal to men who are intense, grounded, and consistent. It is not a preference for suffering. It is a preference for depth. A woman is loyal to the man she sees as a reference point, not the man who depends on her emotionally. She bonds to challenge, not accommodation, to presence, not submission. Research supports this. A 2022 study from the University of Rochester found higher emotional fidelity when women perceived their partner as emotionally superior, meaning stable, grounded, and internally strong, rather than dominant or arrogant. This superiority is not ego. It is density direction, inner structure, the sense that a man operates on a level inaccessible to most. The feminine anchors itself to that and invests emotionally. 3 elements create this admiration: psychological autonomy, emotional consistency, masculine depth, including ambition, mystery, and purpose. When these exist, loyalty becomes instinctive rather than negotiated. Love without admiration becomes routine. Admiration without love still produces loyalty. Admiration is the core of the female bond, the silent mechanism guiding attachment beneath conscious intention. When a man becomes emotionally difficult to replace, loyalty stops being a choice. It becomes inevitable. This is why some men remain unforgettable, while others fade despite effort, kindness, and consistency. Female loyalty follows admiration, and admiration follows instinct. Everything else is romantic narrative. When this is understood, the collapse of many relationships suddenly makes sense. Conclusion. Robert Greene wrote that what is private always dominates what is public. In female loyalty, this is precise. What men imagine exists on the surface is not what governs real behavior. True loyalty is silent and visceral. It responds to feeling, not speech. It reacts to psychological environment, not romantic performance. It remains while structure is felt and dissolves when structure weakens. The first cruel reality is that loyalty is adaptive, not moral. It follows safety. It stays while direction, stability, and containment exist. It collapses when a man loses his internal axis. The second cruel reality is that loyalty oscillates with biology. Hormones shape mood, perception, and closeness. Those who misunderstand interpret cycles as rejection. Those who understand move through them calmly. The third cruel reality is that loyalty survives only while admiration lives. Admiration cannot be requested or negotiated. It is earned through autonomy, depth, firmness, and consistency. The removed study revealed this clearly. Female loyalty is not a fixed contract. It is a survival mechanism. It follows what works, not what should. It follows what is felt, not what is promised. A man relying on words loses to a man relying on structure. The feminine responds to instinct, and instinct does not negotiate with fantasy or comfort. What you do with this knowledge defines your path. You can live in illusion or accept human nature. Loyalty based on speeches fades. Loyalty based on structure becomes instinctive and enduring. Now you understand why relationships collapse without warning. Why some women remain loyal for decades while others change direction overnight. What looks sudden is usually instinct responding to long-ignored signals beneath the surface. What was hidden is now visible. Loyalty is not maintained by intention, morality, or memory. It is maintained by structure, presence, and depth. When those disappear, instinct quietly prepares to move on. If you want to turn this understanding into skill, you must go beyond theory. Instinct, desire, loyalty, and testing follow patterns that can be learned, read, and mastered when illusion is removed. That is the purpose of the Code of Seduction. It breaks down real mechanisms behind attraction, respect, and admiration. Not lines, not tricks, but the internal structure that makes loyalty instinctive, not forced. There you learn to build presence, depth, and masculine gravity that a woman responds to automatically. Loyalty by instinct, not obligation. The link is in the description and the pinned comment.